Did you know that right now, as you're sitting there watching this, you might be doing something that could get you arrested in another country? No, I'm serious. It's not what you think, like some big, elaborate heist. I'm talking about chewing gum. Or maybe that Wi-Fi signal you're borrowing from your neighbor? Yeah, that could land you in hot water. We all have these little habits, these everyday things we do without a second thought. But what if I told you that some of these completely normal activities are not just frowned upon, but are actually illegal in other parts of the world, with real serious consequences? We're about to go on a wild ride around the globe to uncover the most unbelievable laws that could turn an innocent tourist into an accidental outlaw. You're going to be shocked, you're going to laugh, and you're definitely going to think twice before packing your favorite bubblegum for your next vacation. It's absolutely wild what you can get fined for. We're talking about things you do every single day without even realizing it. My name is Albert, and welcome to Unknown Facts. We dig up the most fascinating, mind-bending truths you never knew you needed to know. If you love learning things that make you say, "No way," then you're in the right place. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up so you don't miss out on any of our crazy discoveries. Let's get into it. All right, let's kick things off with a classic. Imagine this. You've just had a fantastic meal in Singapore. The food is incredible, right? You reach into your pocket for a stick of gum to freshen your breath, and suddenly everyone's looking at you like you just pulled out a weapon. Why? Because since 1992, importing and selling chewing gum in Singapore has been illegal. That's right, your favorite pack of spearmint could be considered contraband. It's a real head-scratcher for most of us, but there's a story behind it. The government didn't just wake up one day and decide to wage a war on minty freshness. The problem was vandalism. People were sticking their used gum everywhere, on mailboxes, inside keyholes, and worst of all, on the door sensors of their brand-new, multi-million-dollar mass rapid transit train system. This was causing major disruptions, delaying thousands of commuters. Think about that. Your commute being ruined by a piece of double bubble. So what happens if you get caught? Well, you're not going to get thrown in jail for having a piece in your mouth. But if you're caught importing or selling it, you could face some seriously hefty fines. Now, there's a little twist. In 2004, they relaxed the law just a tiny bit. You can now get therapeutic, dental or nicotine gum, but only from a doctor or a registered pharmacist. Okay, from Singapore we're flying over to Germany. Picture this. You're in Berlin, a city known for its cool, rebellious vibe. You're standing at a street corner. There are no cars in sight for miles. It's completely empty. So you think, I'll just quickly cross the street here? Big mistake. Huge. Suddenly you hear a stern voice, and it's not a police officer. It's a regular German citizen, an Oma or grandpa, scolding you for jaywalking. This is a real thing that happens. In Germany, rules are rules, and this applies with incredible seriousness to crossing the street. You cross at the designated crosswalk, the Zebrastreifen, and you wait for the little green man, the Ampelmännchen, to give you the go-ahead. It doesn't matter if the street is deserted. It doesn't matter if it's 3 a.m. You wait. The main reason is to set a good example for children. The thinking is, if adults are seen ignoring traffic signals, children will learn that it's okay to do so, which could lead to tragic accidents. The fines themselves aren't massive, usually around 5 to 10 euros, but it's the principle of the thing. It's the social shame. Let's journey to the cradle of Western civilization, Greece. You're ready to explore the Acropolis in Athens, a site that's thousands of years old. You've got your camera, your sun hat, and you've picked out a chic outfit, complete with a stylish pair of high heels to really complete the look. Well, you might want to rethink your footwear, because in Greece, wearing high heels at ancient archaeological sites is strictly forbidden. Yes, your stilettos are banned from the Parthenon. This isn't a fashion rule, it's a preservation law. The Greek authorities are incredibly protective of their national treasures, and for good reason. These monuments have survived earthquakes, wars, and the passage of millennia. They're not about to let a pair of pointy heels do what time couldn't. The sharp, concentrated pressure from a stiletto can dent, scratch, and cause irreparable damage to the ancient stone and marble surfaces. Think about the sheer number of tourists that visit these sites every single day. If even a fraction of them were wearing high heels, the cumulative damage would be catastrophic. So what happens if you show up in your fanciest heels? You won't be arrested, but you will be denied entry. Sight guards are stationed at the entrances, and they will check your footwear. So, when you're planning your trip to see the magnificent ruins of Greece, pack some comfortable flats or sneakers. Your feet will thank you, and so will the ancient Greeks. Next stop, the romantic floating city of Venice, Italy. You're in the famous St. Mark's Square, the Piazza San Marco. It's beautiful, it's historic, and it's absolutely swarming with pigeons. For decades, one of the most iconic tourist activities was to buy a bag of corn and let the birds land all over you for a classic photo op. It looked charming, right? Well, the city of Venice would strongly disagree. In fact, feeding the pigeons there is now illegal. The ban was put in place for a very serious reason. The pigeons were literally destroying the city. And I'm not exaggerating. First, there's the health issue. A massive concentrated population of birds creates a lot of droppings, which is unsanitary and can spread disease. But the bigger problem was the architectural damage. Pigeon droppings are acidic. When they land on the ancient marble and stone of Venice's historic buildings, basilicas, and monuments, the acid slowly eats away at the surface. So, in 2008, they enacted a strict ban on feeding them. If you're caught selling the grain or feeding the pigeons, you can face fines ranging from 50 to 500 euros. The pigeon population in St. Mark's Square has dropped dramatically since the ban, and the city is cleaner and its monuments are safer. We're heading back to Germany, but this time we're hitting the open road. We're talking about the legendary Autobahn, the highway system famous for its sections with no official speed limit. It's a driver's paradise, a place where you can legally open up the throttle and see what your car can really do. It's all about speed, efficiency, and the smooth flow of traffic. And that's precisely why running out of gas on the Autobahn is illegal. This might sound completely backward. How can running out of fuel be against the law? Isn't that just an unfortunate accident? Not in the eyes of German law. Stopping on the Autobahn for any non-emergency reason is strictly forbidden or verboten. And running out of gas is considered a preventable situation, not a genuine, unavoidable emergency like a sudden engine failure or a tire blowout. The reasoning is all about safety. The Autobahn is a high-speed environment. Cars can be legally traveling at 150, 180, even over 200 kilometers per hour. A stationary vehicle in a travel lane or even on the shoulder presents an extreme hazard. A driver approaching at high speed has very little time to react to a stopped car, and the potential for a catastrophic high-impact collision is enormous. So, if you're unlucky enough to sputter to a halt on the Autobahn with an empty tank, you're facing a double whammy. First, you'll get a fine for stopping illegally. Second, you could get another penalty for endangering traffic. Let's jet over to the dazzling city of Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. It's a place of stunning modern architecture, luxury shopping, and world record-breaking everything. It's a global hub where cultures from all over the world meet, but it's also a city with a very strong and clear set of rules based on traditional values. And one of those rules might catch you by surprise. Spitting in public is illegal and can get you fined. For many of us, spitting on the street is considered gross and impolite, but we probably don't think of it as a criminal act. In Dubai, however, it's taken much more seriously. It falls under the umbrella of public decency and cleanliness laws. The city puts a massive emphasis on maintaining a pristine public image. If you're caught spitting in a public place, be it on a sidewalk, in a park, or on the beach, you can be hit with an on-the-spot fine. The Dubai municipality has inspectors who patrol the city, and they won't hesitate to issue a penalty. This isn't just a law that's on the books and never enforced. People are fined for it regularly. The rule isn't just about spitting phlegm either. It can also apply to spitting out chewing gum or sunflower seed shells onto the pavement. The goal is to create a pleasant and hygienic environment for residents and millions of tourists alike. So when you're marveling at the Burj Khalifa or wandering through the Dubai Mall, be mindful of this rule. We're making a return trip to Singapore, a country that's clearly not messing around when it comes to rules. We already know about their war on chewing gum, but they have another law that's honestly incredibly relevant in our hyper-connected digital age. If you're in Singapore and you connect to someone else's unsecured Wi-Fi network without their permission, you could actually be charged with hacking. Yes, piggybacking on your neighbor's Wi-Fi is a crime. This is a mind-blower for a lot of people. I mean, in many countries, finding an open, unsecured Wi-Fi network feels like winning a small lottery. Well, not according to Singapore's Computer Misuse and Cybersecurity Act. Under this law, knowingly using another person's Wi-Fi network without their consent is considered unauthorized access to a computer system, which is, well, the basic definition of hacking. The potential penalties are no joke. If you're prosecuted and found guilty, you could face fines of up to $10,000, a prison sentence of up to 3 years, or both. So if you're in Singapore and you're desperate for an internet connection, stick to official public Wi-Fi hotspots, get a local SIM card, or ask for the password. Don't just connect to any open network named Linksys or free_Wi-Fi. Let's fly back to the United Arab Emirates, which includes not just Dubai, but also Abu Dhabi and other Emirates. We talked about spitting, but there's another, more personal behavior that tourists absolutely need to be aware of: public displays of affection. While a quick peck on the cheek or holding hands is generally tolerated, especially in tourist-heavy areas of Dubai, more overt displays like passionate kissing or hugging in public are illegal. This law is rooted in the UAE's traditional Islamic culture, which places a high value on modesty and public decency. Behavior that is considered perfectly normal and private in many Western cultures is seen as inappropriate and offensive when done in a public space in the UAE. There have been numerous, highly publicized cases of foreign couples being arrested, fined, and even jailed for kissing or getting too intimate in public places, like beaches, taxis, or restaurants. It's crucial to understand that this applies to everyone regardless of your nationality or your own cultural norms. When you are in the UAE, you are subject to its laws. This includes married couples. A wedding ring doesn't give you a free pass to be overly affectionate in public. The key is to be respectful of the local culture. Holding hands is usually fine, but anything beyond that should be saved for the privacy of your hotel room. Our next destination takes us to the beautiful sun-drenched islands of the Caribbean. You're packing your bag for a trip to Barbados, Jamaica, or St. Lucia. You grab your favorite pair of trendy camouflage shorts or that cool camo print jacket. You might want to put those right back in the drawer. In many Caribbean nations, wearing camouflage clothing is illegal for anyone who is not a member of the military. This is a law that catches a lot of tourists completely by surprise. In North America and Europe, camouflage is a popular fashion statement. But in countries like Barbados, Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada, and several others, camo is strictly reserved for the armed forces. It's not a fashion choice. It's a uniform with legal protections. The primary reason for this law is to prevent confusion and maintain national security. The governments want to ensure that there is a clear and unmistakable distinction between military personnel and civilians. If anyone could wear camouflage, it could make it easier for criminals or imposters to impersonate soldiers, which could be used to commit crimes or create civil unrest. The enforcement of this law can be very strict. If you arrive at the airport wearing camouflage, you may be asked to change your clothes. In some cases, the items might be confiscated. For our final stop, let's head down under to Australia, a country known for its laid-back, easygoing attitude and colorful slang. You might think that in the land of G'day mate, a bit of casual swearing would be no big deal. Well, you might want to think again. In several Australian states, including Queensland, New South Wales, and Victoria, using offensive language in a public place can get you in trouble with the law. The specific laws vary from state to state, but they generally fall under public nuisance or offensive behavior offenses. The law isn't necessarily targeting a private conversation where you stub your toe and let out a curse. It's aimed at language that is used in a public setting where it could be overheard by and cause offense to others, especially children. The context matters a lot. Yelling profanities in the middle of a shopping mall or near a school would be treated much more seriously than muttering something under your breath. The police have the discretion to issue a warning, give you an on-the-spot fine, or in more serious or repeated cases, issue a notice to appear in court. The fines can be surprisingly substantial, sometimes running into hundreds of dollars. It's about ensuring that public spaces remain pleasant and welcoming for everyone in the community. So, while you're enjoying a Barbie on the beach or exploring the vibrant cities of Australia, just be a little mindful of your vocabulary. And there you have it. 10 everyday habits that could get you into real trouble in other parts of the world. From chewing gum to wearing the wrong pants, it's absolutely wild what's considered illegal out there. It really makes you realize that the world is this incredibly diverse tapestry of cultures and rules, and what's completely normal for us might be a major no-no just a plane ride away. It's a good reminder to always do a little research before you travel and to approach every new place with curiosity and respect. These laws, as strange as they may seem to us, all have a reason behind them, whether it's preserving ancient history, maintaining public order, or ensuring national security. They give us a fascinating glimpse into what different societies value most. And honestly, isn't that one of the best parts of exploring the world? Learning these little quirks and understanding the stories behind them. I hope this has not only shocked you a little, but also made you even more curious about the amazing planet we live on. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today on Unknown Facts. If you had fun too and learned something new, please show us some love by hitting that like button and most importantly, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next adventure into the unknown. We've always got more mind-blowing facts coming your way. Until next time, stay curious and watch where you spit.